Do you know what this is? No, it's not anything to feng shui your face with or your life with. It's a lint stick. You shave off lint from your clothes. I found this in my coat walking my son to school 2 days ago. What is this doing in my coat? Yeah, to get lint off. I know. But the funny thing is, well, it's not funny, it's kind of sad. I forgot to take it out before I walked my son to school. It's funny now, but when I found it, okay, I did chuckle. It was sad. I was like, that's when I knew I needed some serious downtime for myself. I think that's the day when I came home and laid on the couch for 8 hours. I know you're probably thinking, you have 8 hours to do nothing? Well, yeah, because I don't start my job for another 2 weeks. And I just moved into a new city. So I'm getting adjusted, acclimated, unboxed 120 boxes. You can see my other video about that. And I was making water today. I put some lemon, mint, cucumber, and a little bit of apple cider vinegar. And I can't find a lid for it. And I'm like, is that normal? That's not normal. And I thought, okay, I had 2 days to rest a little bit. When I say rest, I mean, okay, I got a massage yesterday, which was heavenly. And my massage therapist, she's like, relax. I'm like, I am relaxed. I'm relaxing. You're giving me a massage. She's like, you're so tense. And I'm like, I'm that tense? She's like, oh my God. And you know what? That's how I've been operating for the last 10 years. I thought I was relaxed, and I realized I'm not. There have been moments, yeah, when I thought, yeah, okay. I had a good 3-4 weeks, about 2 weeks ago, I was like on top of it. And then I bet you even then I was pretty tense because I could feel it somewhere in the back of my head that I needed to just slow down. But I kept going and going because I was listening to all these motivation speakers like hustle, 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 right? And the thing is, at the end of the day, yeah, I got a lot done. And I thought, do they really mean anything? Did they make my life better? Yeah, maybe an inch, but really, no. I mean, I feel like I'm back at square one. Especially this week, I'm so out of whack. I mean, I can't find tops to anything. I'm carrying around lint sticks, or I don't even know what they're called. Never used it. Or in my pocket. And I thought, I need to seriously consider myself, sense of myself, my thoughts, what I spent most of my time doing, and are you just getting by? I think I'm just getting by. Which is sad because the rare moments that I am really relaxed, I'm so grateful. I'm really grateful. I'm tired, I'm burnt out, but that doesn't mean that I'm not grateful. I'm very grateful of all the things I have, all the things I've accomplished, many beautiful places I've seen, amazing food and hotels I've been to, mountains, beaches, islands. I appreciate all those things, and they've enriched my life. But the accumulation of all those experiences, I realize they don't really relax me. They don't really give me a sense of, the word meaning is loaded, I know. Can't think of a good word at the moment. You know what I really enjoy? I mean, all those things are great. And sometimes, you can brag to, your friends when you're comparing your bucket list. It's great. But at the end of the day, you're like, yeah, okay, great. But you know what I really, really have been appreciating the last few months? Just looking at the river outside my window. Hands down, that just watching water flow, and these like gold reflections in the morning, the shadows of the trees and of the clouds, and the sun trying to peep out, like, that is priceless. Those are the things that really give me joy, real joy, And so going back to finding that lint stick or whatever, I realized I needed to do some serious self-care. Now, when I first heard of this term, self-care, I laughed. I was like, what's that? And this was probably like 10 years ago, and never took it seriously, never. I'm like, I've got too many things to do. And the people who probably did that are like basket cases. And then the word self-love started floating around, and I laughed at that too. I mean, what do you do? And out of desperation, actually, I started trying some of the things that women were recommending. And it's just based, I didn't get it. I didn't get the concept for a really long time. And I thought, what do you do? And then I thought, okay, to love yourself. You love another person. When you love another person, like if you love your dog, if you love your child, if you love your husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, mom, and dad, what would you do to show them that you cared? And I thought, oh yeah, okay. I'm just showing myself that I love myself by just doing some things. Just sitting down quietly for 5 minutes, looking at the river or the sunset or some beautiful trees where the fall leaves are just, just glistening in the sun. Or, buying yourself like a $5 tea candle because it speaks to you. It speaks to your soul. And then that's when I started actually seriously about 3 years ago. Like if I love somebody and they were burnt out, what would I do for them? And one of the things was to take a bath. You know what? I take a bath seriously, like once or twice or sometimes 3 times a week for 1 year. And after that 1 year, I actually was like, okay, I'm seeing the tip of the iceberg melt. All that self-loving bath, and I got a packet of massages too. It's not enough. I mean, if you really love yourself, show it. And I thought it's so difficult, when other people show you love, you're like, oh, it just seems so natural and so, beautiful, right? And then it's so difficult to show ourselves love. And this is just a hard nut to crack. Why is it so difficult to love yourself? You can't just say, I love myself because, I'm looking good. Well, okay, I'm not looking good today. My hair is kind of funky. It's okay. I'm going to yoga later on. So why is it so difficult? When I watch some videos like the 5 ways to love yourself, 11 ways to hack your love, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, they make it so easy and they don't talk about how difficult it is, how the challenges that you have in seeing how you can, realize that, you're worth it. Actually, I don't like using that word worth, because then, the other side is that you're not worth it, Just making it like an everyday thing that we just honor ourselves by being present. And other things that, that make, like taking baths and stuff like that is absolutely essential, because those are the things that heal your body. That it's like a lullaby, for kids. When a child cries, what would you do for that child? Take him or her into your arms, just gently sway, say loving things to the child. And this sense of like this rocking, swaying with the baby, calming the baby is I think what we need to do. And one of the ways you can do that is to take a bath, because it holds you and is safe. And listen to like chakra music. I know that may be too, out there for some people, and it used to be for me too, but I really, really, it speaks to a different part of my consciousness, And when you get confused, how can I love myself? Think of you being a baby and you're crying. What would you do with that baby if your baby was crying, it was needing something, and it couldn't communicate to you what it needed? See, that's what it is. As adults, we've lost touch with that crying part of ourselves. Most of us are walking around as giant human tears. We just cover it up, cover it up, cover it up. I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. Laugh it off, smoke, drink, consume bad food. And you're like, oh, just this one time, and that one time, it becomes too many times. And you're unhealthy, you feel like crap, and you're snapping at yourself, cussing under your breath. And I've done that. That kind of thing, that's a sign. Those are like little red, signal signs, like, hey, alarm signs, like, okay. That is not normal. I realize it is not normal cussing under your breath. That just sends bad signals to your soul and your body, and to other people. And I don't know how many people have seen me like, talk to myself, and I have to pretend like, oh, whoo, hoo, 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 hoo. Yeah, that's another story. Okay. Yeah, you can buy yourself stuff. I don't mean go crazy and like, shop the whole store, although, if you want a whole like overhaul of your life, you can do that. And I actually know somebody who did that, and she basically like became a new person, lost weight, got a life coach, transformed her life, got the man she wanted, had the kids she wanted, live in a city she wanted. You know, I don't know if she's happy now, but that she manifested all that by like completely changing herself, because she said she had enough. You know, yeah. So yesterday, like I said, I had a Bali massage. She said I was tense. She's like, relax. And I'm like, I'm trying. And, you know, I'm so tense. Like, I walk around like, you know, like that, you know, constantly watching for, I don't know, like as if, you know, I'm back in the caveman days and I'm waiting for like dinosaur to stomp my life out or something, and I'm like constantly like that, you know. I can feel it, and I don't notice it until people tell me, and I wish people would tell me. And I see a lot of people staring at me, and I think maybe like, you know, because I'm like walking around like this, and I should just relax. I have a goal. Okay, first of all, because I didn't know I was so tense, now that I know, I would like to be in a state of complete ease. I mean, just thinking about that has me just, you know, really motivated and excited. You know, and out of all this tension, you know, living in a new country, like unpacking 120 boxes, dealing with sense of isolation, and being alone a lot, and it's a burden. Yet also you can see it another way as an adventure, and adventures are going to be met with mishaps. Run-ins with people that just don't serve you. I've had all that, but I'm actually quite positive out of all those experiences. And you know, in the end, I'm really grateful. Grateful for amazing people who write articles that I love to read. I read the New Yorker. I love that. I love the view outside my window. Even love the overcast weather today. But you know, I'm still tense. So that means I have to tackle something. And also, the next thing I'm going to talk about is actually kind of odd. I didn't think I would ever talk about that in public, but it was a profound realization that I had yesterday. You know, a few days ago, I was, this vision came to me. I was in New York. And New York was like kind of foggy, but this fog wasn't menacing. It was actually like a fairy tale like fog, you know. It wasn't ominous. It was like actually very inviting and beautiful. It had sort of a pink glow to it, and I thought, that's odd. And I didn't even question. I just sort of went with this fantasy in my head. It came by itself. And this older man, like maybe 60s or 70s, I didn't see his face, but I saw his like being. He had a suit on. Absolutely just the most well-dressed, well-mannered, cultured man I had ever encountered. The sense was like almost angelic. And he gave me a present. And like we were sort of in a foggy environment. It was weird. I didn't see his face. He had a hat on. He looked like a detective or something. Very trim body. He said, I don't want anything from you. I just want to give you something. He gave me a bag, like the size, like a little shopping bag or something. And I looked inside. And this sense of joy arose out of my heart and my being. And I was like a little girl. And what he wanted to see was this sense of joy, this innocent joy. And in this fantasy, we had a relationship. At first he thought he wanted something from me, but he just wanted to give me joy. And we became a couple, and we just adored each other. Like every cell of his being, every cell of my being fell in love with his soul. This vision or fantasy is weird on very many levels, because I'm not attracted to older men. I'm not attracted to I wasn't attracted to being in New York. I don't know what New York means in my fantasy, because I don't really think about it. I know some people in New York, but I've never had the urge to be there, and I don't think of it as a magical place. It's a fantastical place, the buildings and the riches and the culture and the history, and the cacophony of, minds there and businesses and things like that. But it was as if my soul belonged there with this person and in New York. Out of nowhere. And you know what? Last night, I was washing my face, getting ready for bed. I realized this profound realization that I'm having these continuous fantasies about an older man taking care of me, my joy, because I can't cope with my everyday life. And on one hand, that's very scary to think that I can't cope, because I am coping. I get things done. No matter how tired I am, I will get things done. I have a normal life. But the realization was that, it was a psychological realization that my mind is coping by creating another life, another personality. I don't know. Maybe maybe that is my highest self, to have a union in a soulful way. I can see it many ways, but the first thought last night was, I'm coping. My mind is trying to cope with what I can't handle in real life. In some way, I could have been freaked out, but I thought, no, this is an insight that I need to explore. And I realized I had this realization because I had been taking care of myself. I know that I need to do a lot more. I need probably a few weeks more of constant attention, conscious attention to my mind, my body, what I eat, what I say. And then I think I can sort of operate in a graceful manner. So yesterday after the massage, I think the massage really helped me come to that conclusion last night. And the most profound realizations have taken place doing everyday things like most people get their amazing realization, like genius ideas, eureka moments, right? When they're showering, when they're near water, walking in nature. And that's what happened to me. And I think this realization is going to shift my mind into a new direction that will make me more awake, make me more conscious of my life. So after the massage, I went to a shop because I am setting up the apartment, and I found, I saw a few things at the store. Usually, like, I kind of like, oh, do I need it? I'm going through a decluttering process, things like that. But these things, I saw a few things and they spoke to my heart. And they weren't expensive. They just gave me joy. And maybe like the fantasy I had about that man giving me joy with these like simple things actually gave me very, very, very luxurious things. And I found this beautiful tea. I'm sorry, not tea, candle holder. I got 2 of these. They're quite big, like big as my face. They're quite heavy. I saw those and my soul just like opened up and it's like, oh, there's no question about it. I have to have these. They're handmade in Poland. Beautiful. I have really good memories of Poland. I went there for a week many, many years ago, and I just love the people and the culture, and the food was actually, okay, I wouldn't eat that food now, but back then I actually really loved it. I got 2 of those, and then I saw these bowls. Like they just like, I just gravitated towards them and I got them. And surprisingly, they were on sale. These were €3. It's like $3.20. I don't know what the exchange rate is, but see. And that candle thing is just gorgeous. I've seen paintings like that in really fancy galleries. That's not why I bought it. The colors spoke to me, and so I got that. That was about $9.50. I got 2. So it was very inexpensive and something that I can use. I didn't buy anything superfluous. Well, I don't have to justify why I bought them, but just seeing those, gives me a sense of like, joy, and I can see that and I can sort of relax it as a reminder that, I can let go. So I've been talking quite a bit, but that's something I think I would like to see more of on YouTube. Not people always together. They don't have to. I made up my mind a few weeks ago actually, and I thought, next time I make videos, I'm not going to make videos where I'm like all put together, that I have everything together. No one does. No one. I've been around in this world long enough that everybody has these kinds of issues. And you know what? They don't stay. And I accept that. I accept that my life is not going to always be like rosy. And I don't want it. And the thing is, I don't want it to, because I realize when it's rosy, I get lazy. I need moments like this where I contemplate and I analyze and share that with like-minded people so that we can sort of evolve, we're here to evolve. If we're not evolved, and without these moments, you know, crashing or being burned out, sense of burnout, without these moments, you know, we would never evolve, you know. So think about that. If you have any thoughts, let me know. Okay.